Lesson 258. Let me remember that my goal is God.
Hi there. Wouldn't it be infinitely valuable to better understand the driving forces that shape our lives? Wouldn't it be worth knowing if we're truly pursuing the goals that will bring us genuine happiness and fulfillment? Let's dive into what Lesson 258 has to reveal.
Let me remember that my goal is God. All that is needful is to train our minds to overlook all little senseless aims, and to remember that our goal is God. His memory is hidden in our minds, obscured but by our pointless little goals which offer nothing, and do not exist. Shall we continue to allow God's grace to shine in unawareness, while the toys and trinkets of the world are sought instead? God is our only goal, our only love. We have no aim but to remember Him. Our goal is but to follow in the way that leads to you. We have no goal but this. What could we want but to remember you? What could we seek but our identity?
In other words, our minds are constantly lured by the myriad dramas, goals, and dreams that the world presents. They drift amidst fleeting distractions, becoming so engrossed in trivialities that we lose sight of the bigger picture and the only reality that can truly give meaning to our lives. How often have we felt that what we were experiencing or seeking was the most important thing in the world? That argument with a friend, that object of our intense desire, that interest we were deeply invested in, only to see them fade or be set aside when their moment passed. How often do such things occupy our thoughts and emotions, seeming crucial at the time? Do you remember what consumed your attention a year ago? How important is it now? And what about today? How significant are the tasks you're focused on right now? Will they still matter a year from now? Our minds frequently become preoccupied with a ceaseless stream of tasks and objectives that, while appearing urgent today, will likely hold little significance in a week, a month, or a year. In the grand scope of our existence, many of these concerns fade into insignificance.
Lesson 129. Beyond this world there is a world I want.
It's like getting distracted by shiny little toys and forgetting about the real treasure. Deep within us, there is a memory of God. Remember, God is not an external entity with a separate will. We are not apart from God. His will and our will are one and the same.
Lesson 223. God is my life. I have no life but His.
Lesson 167. There is one life, and that I share with God.
Lesson 124. Let me remember I am one with God.
This memory resides within us, but it is obscured by layers of pointless little goals that are merely parts of this world of illusions. They do not exist. What we truly desire is God. We want to remember the love of God. So, why spend time chasing meaningless goals? We want to know our true self.
Lesson 256. God is the only goal I have today.
Of course, we need to function in the world we live in, even if we know it is an illusion. In fact, we can engage with this world, function within it, and even enjoy it. The key is not to become attached to it or see it as our ultimate reality. As we learned in Lesson 256, in this world, we can do nothing but dream. However, we can choose to dream of forgiveness. We can envision a different world, and while we wait for God to take the final step for us, we can enjoy this world of dreams. But let's never forget, our true home and identity lie beyond this physical and transient world. We should be in the world, but not of the world. However, our minds have been trained to be of the world. Let's retrain our minds then. Let's train our minds not to get caught up in the meaningless pursuits the world tempts us with. Let's train our minds to follow the path that leads to God. We have no other goal worth pursuing. What could we want but to remember God? What could we seek but our true identity?
Let me remember that my goal is God.
Let me remember that my goal is God.
Let me remember that my goal is God.
Isn't that enlightening? How wonderful it is to realize that our main purpose is so simple and pure. By reconnecting with that deeper goal, we find genuine happiness and meaning. Keep practicing morning and evening as we've been doing, and take a moment every hour to recall today's idea. If you find yourself getting distracted or feeling lost, just remind yourself of your real goal.
Let me remember that my goal is God.
As we move through the section What is Sin, we see how, according to A Course in Miracles, sin is an illusion that distracts us from our true goal. Today's lesson reminds us that the meaningless goals of the world obscure our awareness of God's presence within us. When we get lost in these trivial pursuits, we forget our purpose of returning to God through forgiveness and love. By setting aside these distractions and focusing solely on God, we dispel the illusion of sin and align ourselves with our true identity, remembering that our only aim is to be one with Him. But if you missed the introduction to this section or feel you need a refresher, click on the video link that will appear on your screen at the end of this video. You can also find the link to section 4 in the video description below.
Let me remember that my goal is God.
Let me remember that my goal is God.
Let me remember that my goal is God.
You're doing great and are on a fantastic journey. See you tomorrow for another heart-opening lesson. Quick note before you go. Making these videos is a labor of love, but it's still financially challenging. If you've found value in what you've watched, please consider supporting with a donation. Even the humblest contribution means the world and ensures the continuation of these daily lessons. Thank you for your generosity.
Did you enjoy the video and find it helpful? Please give it a like and leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. We have a new lesson every day. And if you've been with us for a while, please consider supporting the channel. There's a lot of love behind these videos. Check out the video description for more details.